Daisy Ridley says sexism from Star Wars fans is blown out of proportion. That is the title of the article that accompanies this video.
Speaking of Sharmeen, I just have to ask, because there are some of the, I'd say, extreme Star Wars fans who have made this a conversation on the internet about how they don't want a female director.
That has nothing to do with it.
Oh my God!
No one has said that. No one has said that.
Not one person says this. This is
what. That's how you twist stuff right there.
Yeah, this is the spin.
Man, I wish I was in that room when she said that.
Yeah,
they'd have had to escort me out of there.
See, this is where. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Let it go.
No, let's. I want to. That is exactly what they do. They twist it to fit their narrative.
No, they create. What they do is they create. They basically lie. They create a false narrative. That's the goal, is to create a false narrative. And if you're not in the know and you're just watching today and you're just spinning around here and you hear this lady say, oh, you know, they don't want a woman directing Star Wars. So now all of a sudden you got this bad rep. You know, if you're a Star Wars fan, you know, this bad reputation is out there about, oh, you know, you guys hate women. You know, you hate women, don't you? And it's like, wait a minute, time out. Wait, who said that?
And when she says that, today, the Disney Star Wars simp fans, the lovers, the people that just lap it all up, it becomes true because she said it.
And you know what it is, Coach? It's because they can't deal with the actual arguments that we're making. They can't deal with what we're actually saying. You know, if they had to sit there and deal, hey, you know what, Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, she has no experience in the franchise. She has no experience doing anything like this, any type of film like this. She's a documentarian, you know. Not only that, she promotes her own activism. She says, I'm an activist. I put activism in everything I do. Star Wars fans aren't looking for activism in Star Wars movies. I'm sorry. We're just not looking for activism.
And I like to make Nick uncomfortable.
I like to make men uncomfortable. I like to make men uncomfortable. Like, we hear that. And that's what turns us off. That's what gets us up. Like, go ahead. Sorry.
I want you listen to what happens next, and then we're going to visit the title of this NBC News article. We've got 20 seconds more, and then we're going to read the title, and you all decide.
Buckle up. You're right, Bobby. Media spin at its finest. Here we go.
Female director, which seems bizarre because episodes of The Mandalorian are some of the, I'd say, extreme Star Wars fans who have made this a conversation on the internet about how they don't want a female director, which seems bizarre because episodes of The Mandalorian were directed by females. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy has been overseeing all of this. So,
yeah, that doesn't help you.
Yeah. This lady is clueless about Star Wars fandom.
Kathleen Kennedy could be male, female, both, alien. It don't matter. She sucks.
But remember, guys, she is not coming up with this talking points out of her own mind. Somebody has told
her to say this stuff.
Yeah, she's reading it off her little paper.
Yeah. So let's see what Daisy says.
So, you know, what is your take on that?
I think my take is things get blown out of proportion, and the interactions I've ever had with people have been nothing but wonderful and supportive. And honestly, the day we announced that I was coming back at Celebration last year, you cannot imagine the joy and goodwill in that room. So I've only ever been embraced, and I think
them crickets were happy.
We're going to make a great film, and people will
cannot wait.
Tell us more about the film itself.
And so that's all she says. She won't give nothing else away. She said, this is blown out of proportion. I'm excited. I love to play Rey. And the title of the article is Daisy Ridley says sexism from Star Wars fans is blown out of proportion. That is the title of the article that accompanies this video.
Wow. NBC is the worst. They are
that is worthy of a video right there.
Yes.
Trash.
100%. Hell, we could just clip this and release it.
Good job, old man. That's pretty good language there from you.
I mean, for me, I think it's another instance of Daisy. I ain't playing, right? Daisy's not playing.
Ridley was asked about some online uproar from fans after filmmaker Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy was announced as the director of the Star Wars New Jedi Order. That's a false narrative.
Yeah.
When she was announced, there wasn't outrage. We were saying, who the freak is that?
Yeah.
That's all we said.
And when people start digging and finding out things that she said, her past, all this stuff about her, that's when it all started coming out going, whoa, wait a second here. How is this person good for Star Wars? Can somebody please explain that to us? I don't give two F's if it's a woman or not. But looking at her resume, how are you picking her to do the next theatrical Star Wars film? You know,
so we got people in chat.
Yeah,
we got people in chat, and I want to say this too, because a lot of people, you know, when we're the flip side of this, I guess, when we're being, I don't want to say negative, when we're giving our opinions about, especially about the sequel trilogy and what Disney has done, people mistake, you know, the other side of the fandom here. They like to act like they all do with this victim mentality that Rose Tico and Kelly Marie Tran are the same person. That Jar Jar Binks and Ahmad Best is the same person. They're not.
Yeah.
That Daisy Ridley and Ray Palpatine are the same person. They're not. The majority of the fandom, even the fandom that cannot stand Disney Star Wars, have no ill will towards the human beings. We're talking about the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and we've said that till we're blue in the face, but they never hear us.
Yeah.
Because that's a loss for them. You know, they'll never admit that. Go ahead, Nick. What'd you say?
I was just saying we have issues with the people, the actual people running it and writing it.
Yes. Right.
And some of them directing it and producing it. But as far as the actors, they're just there for a paycheck, just doing their job, doing what they're told. It's not their fault. You know,
Moses Ingram and Reva is another great example of this, right?
Yeah.
It was people trying to do the best job they can, playing these characters that are written.
Her job wasn't very good, though. Her acting was not good in that.
Well, she's also a newer actress, but peace on that, right? But all I'm saying is, it's not like any of these folks are going out there saying, "I'm going to half-ass this." You know, I just don't feel it. I'm just not feeling it. Forget it. Right. I mean, they're going out there and the problem is they're given bad characters and a poorly written story.
Yeah,
but anytime you criticize that, it's, well, you don't want a woman director.
Yeah.
Or you don't want female characters.
Yeah.
Even though nobody had a problem with Princess Leia, you know, nobody had a problem with Padme Amidala. Yeah, but you just don't like female characters. Like, no, that's not it at all. We like good female characters. We like, you know, characters that, you know, speak to us and resonate with us and, you know, make sense within the fan base or within the franchise. You know, so yeah, it has nothing to do with the nonsense that they're talking about. And like I said, they got to create the false narratives because they can't address the actual arguments because they don't want to address the actual arguments. You know, they just want to focus on their narratives.
I know. Anyway, I saw that NBC News article and I'm like, this just became my favorite article that I've read in the last week. And then I watched the video and I'm like, oh, that just made it all the worse. All the worse.
Wow.